absolute bollocks. And you're just a stupid fucking bunch of knobs. The globe is absolute bollocks. And you're just a stupid fucking bunch of knobs. The globe is absolute bollocks. And you're just a stupid fucking bunch of knobs. The globe is absolute bollocks. And you're just a stupid fucking bunch of knobs. The globe is absolute bollocks. And you're just a stupid fucking bunch of knobs. The globe is absolute bollocks. And you're just a stupid fucking bunch of knobs. The globe is absolute bollocks. And you're just a stupid fucking bunch of knobs. The globe is absolute bollocks. And you're just a stupid fucking bunch of knobs.
Keep up the good work, man, and stay flat, okay?
Okay, I'm a flat earther.
Hello, welcome to the NonSequitur Show.
Hello. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
It's a good night. Does the NonSequitur Show not have the best music at the start?
Dude, I'm jealous. I'm more than jealous of non-sex music and the intro graphics. They're amazing, man. Who did that, Dave?
That's all Kyle.
No way.
Man, we need to Kyle working for science or satire.
Yeah, no. Wait, what? You don't trust in the power of skepticism? Team Skeptic over here, graphic mastermind. Look at the graphic behind my head. I did that shit. Come on now, bro.
That's badass. It's badass. So
yes, hello everybody.
People might think that we're debating each other, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say right now we're waiting on a flat earther to grow some nuts and stand behind his beliefs. This is still the weirdest and wildest thing that comes with being a flat earther. And that is not being able to stand up for what you believe in. There's not a single time that anybody can say, you believe in it's a globe, well, come prove it. And I go, no, I'm not going to show up tonight because you guys are mean. Yeah, I'm not prepared for it. No, I'm arguing on the side of reality. It's easy. So
yeah,
for a flat earther,
okay, I'll just go outside and show you.
Right. Yeah, so flat earthers they just get scared, man. And I'm still to this day lost as to why they just don't stand behind their beliefs. They can't.
No. And they know the platform is here every Saturday. And why aren't they hammering the door down? If they're so
smaller channels.
If they're so positive. Yeah, smaller channels especially. I mean, you get the odd couple like why you're an idiot, be happy to come on at any time, but frankly it's pointless, but there's so many of them that will harass you in the comments and on Discord and everything, but when the platform is here ready, they don't want to come and do it. I mean, if there's any flat earthers in the chat tonight and you feel like you can prove to us too that the earth is not a globe, then please come in and show us your conviction. Otherwise, I guess the entire flat earth community is #bitchmade.
Hence the reason.
If you can't prove your beliefs, I was going to say, if you can't prove your beliefs, come in here and learn why the Earth's a globe, and we'll show you live why, so that you're not stupid and wrong in life every day. Because if you're out there telling people the Earth is flat, don't be surprised when people call you stupid and an idiot.
Right. And it's also your chance to be #unbitchmade.
Yeah, #unbitchmade. And I see I am Ralph Joe Rail in the chat saying no one wants to come and make you punks money while you break them. Team, do you get any money for being on the NonSequitur Show?
Hold on, let me check my answers again. No, I don't get any.
No. I mean, I know you get the reach round from Kyle every now and then, but that's not the same, right?
Wait, hold on. Let me check the contract again. Oh, there it is. Page 666. Free reach rounds. Done.
Section 33.
I'm getting mine tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Cool. So
yeah, hey, anybody that thinks
money.
that we berate them, Yeah, I don't berate people. I allow people to speak. I will defer and let Fight the Flat Earth moderate or debate tonight, and I'll moderate it and make sure that everybody's civil and keeps on point. So, Flat Earthers, if you're
or
out
vice
there,
versa.
please come on in.
If someone wants to debate
Yeah.
you
Hey,
instead of me, then they're welcome. Hey, David, do you
they
want to
don't
debate
want to
someone?
debate me.
Do I want to debate someone? Not particularly.
I'm telling you now that
I find the whole entire flat Earth movement just, it's not worth. I'm like Creaky. I don't really want to talk to these people.
Yeah,
I like the ensuing conversations y'all have with them, but it's just no. Just not. It's just because it's not a conversation worth having. If you have an imagination, use it to think ahead and stop worrying about what we've already figured out. Use reality as a basis for your imagination.
right, and I do have that is a good point. Like, you have some people that could actually contribute to society a lot better. I'm not going to say they could be scientists or mathematicians or anything like that, but you do have some interesting characters in the flat Earth that if they were to just give up that dumbass rhetoric of the Earth being flat, they'd have a real chance in life. A good example of this is how we were talking about it the other night. M. Benz. Look at him.
Yeah,
He was a
exactly
flat
what I was
earther.
about to
He had
say.
800 subs as a flat earther for who knows how many years spewing that bullshit. Goes on to
I
talk
think his channel was
about
up for about 2
DC
years.
Comics.
Yeah.
2 years he had 800 subs. He goes on. He starts a
And you know
channel
what?
5 months ago. And go ahead.
I've gone to his channel, MBDC, and it's actually a really good channel. He's really passionate about comic books, and the way his shows towards the end on his channel were quite slick, and he's obviously used that knowledge that he learned for editing and stuff and turned it into actually a relatively successful DC Comics based YouTube channel, and like, what, fair play to him. And I don't know if he's left Flat Earth behind completely, but he's taken all the content off his channel, which to me says that maybe he's moved on from that part of his life. So good on him.
Yeah, and Godless Engineer says, I've heard that Nathan Thompson actually lives in his car. And yes, I'm not going to say that I know for a fact, but I will say this. I was in a hangout the other day with them, and somebody said something about him living in his car, and he goes, hey, home is where the dome is. So it wasn't like he was like, no, I'm not living in my car. I think he's just happy being homeless. And I don't think that he's actually happy being homeless. I think that he just is happy being a flat earther, and he understands that being homeless is part of being a flat earther, being ostracized from your family, or maybe your family saying, drop that flat earth rhetoric and we'll let you move in and get back on your feet. And the first thing he does is go in there and looks down at his dinner plate and goes, Mom, I can't do this. The earth looks like the dinner plate to me. Everywhere I look, I see that a flat earth, the shelves, the plates, the bottom of cups, everything, it's all flat. And the earth's supposed to be round.
You're banned from this house. Thought you said you always loved me, Mum. Not if you're flat earther, get out.
Yeah. Oh, I'd tell my son to go get a job. I'd be like, nope, yeah, you gotta move out, go get a job. You're gonna preach that flat earth shit. You're an adult now.
Yeah. So is there any flat earthers that want to come on?
Well, I mean, have you heard back from Flat Earth Jesus yet?
Yeah, he's willing to come on, but he says he's permanently blocked in the chat, and that makes him not want to.
Well,
fucking who.
Unfortunately, I can't lift that ban because of the reason he was banned. So.
Well, if you're there to Flat Earth Jesus, I guess you're welcome to come on, but you can't get unblocked in the chat. But I don't know if people want to see Flat Earth Jesus anymore, because what else? What has he got? It's only so many times you can say, no, Flat Earth Jesus, the moon was not dug out of the Grand Canyon by giants, melted into quartz, filled with helium, and put in the sky to mock us for worshipping the sun. And no, gyroscopes are not powered by demonic forces. And no, the sun is not an interdimensional portal.
The balloon, or the helium moon. That's the funniest one of him. They dug it up, filled it up with helium, and put it in the sky for us.
to mock
that's-
us because we worked at the sun.
It reminds me of Nephilim Freeze lunar bukkake theory. Have you heard that?
No,
No.
I'm gonna look it up now.
Lunar bukkake. That sounds fun. Let's hear
Well,
that one.
okay. Apparently, the reason there's all those craters on the moon is because the floodwaters after the flood were boiled away at such an extreme pressure that they shot to the moon from the Earth, and that's why it's like the Earth spooged on the moon. So lunar bukkake.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And just to let everybody know, we've been in contact with JM Truth today. We did invite him to come out here tonight to express his opinion that 10 to the negative 17th is actually, in fact, negative number.
Yep.
He won't come defend that belief, nor will he come defend that assertion.
No.
Yeah, he's a bitch. He's definitely bitch made. Straight
Yeah,
up. We offered
I
him
just
a
want to point out
friendly-
that in the emails back and forth, he also doubled down on the assertion that the sun is fire, and nuclear fusion needs oxygen.
Oh, hey,
yeah,
Sean
and-
Hawkins says JM Truth is my man. Really, JM Truth is your bitch. Nice job, Sean
Yeah.
Hawkins, in that debate.
Yeah.
Wait, somebody asserted you needed oxygen to fuse.
Oh yeah. When he was talking about the sun, he said that I don't care. It's fire because got pictures from NASA showing that it's a big ball of burning gas, and I don't care if it's fusion. You still need oxygen for it to be fire. And when I challenged on that in the email, he said no, but you need fire for the ignition to make the fusion happen.
Yeah, that's just that's cringy, is what that is.
And then
This guy
he
claims
tried-
to be a scientist, though. He's made the
No.
claim that he's a physicist and biochemist.
and a research scientist.
He's really he's a glorified pamphlet maker, guys. That's what he does.
Yep.
It says in
And
his if you go and look at his online job degree that from the degree mill that he got it from, it says on there that if you complete this 12-month online course, you will be an expert in using programs like Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to create educational materials. You're not educating people, JM. That was the worst thing someone could tell you that you could do with your degree. You're not an educator. You're a pamphlet maker. Okay?
right.
You're an expert at 3-hole punches.
And the thing is, with him being a pamphlet maker, I do worry because he says that he's like this videographer and the film producer, but when you look at his videos, it's basically black screens with Comic Sans sideways and italic. I mean, who the fuck still uses Comic Sans? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay,
so again, let's.
One of the reasons he
Go
said
ahead.
he couldn't come on was because he was just coming out of a meeting. I want to get his words here. He said he was just coming out of a meeting with a film production company that have hired him to make a movie that will conclusively prove that the Earth is flat. So apparently he's been hired by a film production company to make a movie to prove the Earth is flat.
Let me just make a general statement in case that film producer or whatever it is that's planning on hiring him to do any kind of work for him. I know it only exists in JM Truth's head, but maybe JM Truth will hear this and the person inside of it is the made up person inside of his head will fire JM, because if you haven't noticed, go watch a few of his videos. The video quality for someone who has a master's in film production and whatever else he claimed to have masters in is garbage shit. I have no experience whatsoever in any After Effects or video editing or nothing, and I shit on that dude, and I've never been to school a day in my life. He is not a film and editor professional. He's a piece of shit, lying, narcissistic punk.
And not the last video he did, but the one before, it was like a 15-minute video of how to set up your home studio. And the hilarious thing is that he made so many mistakes in that. Like, his green screen game is terrible because he's not got lights properly. So right back here where he's got the A map, there is a massive shadow, so it's all fuzzy. And then when he shows the clip of what the camera looking at him is and his teleprompter. He uses his laptop for a teleprompter, which is why all you can see in his glasses is the bright white screen of the teleprompter. So he's like trying to educate people on how to set up a studio, and his is fucking awful. Like, who does this guy think he is?
God, He-Man, Hercules, name it all. I bet he's gone through every superhero in his fucking mind and said, "Wow, I exhibit certain qualities about that guy. You know what? If when I think about Superman, I might not be able to fly, I might not be faster than a speeding bullet, but goddamn, I'm close."
Yeah, I mean, he must wake up in the morning and look at himself and think, "Fuck, you're good. I love you."
Hey, I'm noticing people are telling me not to hold back in the chat. I'm sorry if I'm if I'm going off on a bit. They muted and booted me. I'm really pissed off about that. I
guys.
could give a shit less, to be honest with you, but exposing is coming, JM. You are getting exposed for the fraud you are.
JM and Nathan they're our bitches for sure.
Oh yeah, we got a video coming out tomorrow on Fight the Flat Earth channel. Y'all should check that out.
Episode 15 of Flirts Are Idiots, Nathan Thompson. But there's a few digs in there at JM Truth as well.
Hey, big shout out to Godless Engineer for getting on that last video and exposing JM for the first time. That was his first exposed video. He's fake. He's a piece of shit.
We have a possible flirth. Hip Hop Hippie will come on and debate with you, team.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
He wants you to prove the moon landings, but he needs to go ahead.
Oh my God, bro, that's dumb. No, well, okay. I mean, that's hard for me to do without having any kind of evidence to support my claims. Like, I know we can have a conversation about it, and that's fine if you want to have a conversation, but something along that, if it's going to be a moon landing thing, I would rather have time to at least get my arguments together and whatnot, prepare something like slides and whatnot. I can't do that just last second.
Yeah, but
I'll debate him on anything science.
Buzz said that we didn't go to the moon, so there you go.
I mean, we can have a conversation about the moon landing, but an actual formal debate where you're supposed to provide a point and take a stance. I don't have a material
conversation
set up
would be
for that.
better. No, I think just a general conversation would be good. Right.
Let's get off the fraud JM for a moment and move to this other jackass.
Because there is obviously a video about him coming out on my channel tomorrow. And then on Monday, on your channel, where we've got Conspiracy Cats on for Science or Satire 0.8, don't we?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was reading the chat. Yeah, we have 0.8 coming on Monday. Have you already confirmed with him that he will be available for Monday?
Yeah, he's got a debate on Simon Dan's channel, so he's coming on to your channel beforehand, and we're going to have like a pre-debate warm-up. I thought we could present him with some of Nathan's tactics. He's debating Nathan Thompson on Simon Dan's channel.
Who is?
We could present
Conspiracy Cats?
Yeah, so if we get him onto your channel, or for Science or Satire, we can show him some of Nathan's stuff, give him a bit of a warm-up for dealing with Nathan Thompson. And then we can watch the debate together and see how it goes down. It's the first time that there's been a live debate on Simon Dan's channel. And I'm quite looking forward to Conspiracy Cats destroying Nathan Thompson.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I'm glad for Conspiracy Cats. I don't think he realizes the liquid shit he's walking into, but I mean, hey, I'm there for him. Let's go. Conspiracy Cat's gonna wreck that dude. That dude's fucking stupid, man. I called him out on here on the Non-Sec show. I said, you're dumb and you're stupid, and I have no doubt about it in my mind. I once gave Nathan Thompson the benefit of the doubt. I put aside my anger about being unfairly booted out of the largest flat earth group on Facebook, only to realize that was what catalyzed me starting my channel, and it really was a good thing. So I'm beyond the angry part at Nathan, but God dog it, if that dude isn't dumb as hell, man, he's dumb as fuck. I've learned in my experiences with him, he is a grown child.
Mm-hmm. I was going through some of his videos, and he's got a video of him just practicing handwriting to some music. I'm like, I mean, all right, okay, I'm not going to ever say trying to better yourself is a bad thing, but that's something my 5-year-old daughter is doing, and you've posted it on your YouTube channel like you're proud of it. I'm like,
Look, guys, I've increased the slopes in my curved writing.
and it's all
All
about
right,
this
so is
brain
Hip Hop
training that
Hippie
he was
coming on?
doing.
Yeah, is Hip Hop Hippie coming on?
Yo, I'm just trying to get. He says he's waiting for permission.
Yeah, but is it curvy like Comic Sans, Team Skeptic?
Oh my god, get it off the stream.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh god, no! Don't put Comic Sans on the screen. I'm watching from the actual from the video feed, so now I see the Comic Sans. I have nothing against Comic Sans because I use Hobo LTD sometimes, and that's basically Comic Sans on LSD. So it's just a weirder Comic Sans, just kind of spread out and warped from the middle out. I like it.
Can you give me a link for Hip Hop Hippie?
It's in the group chat.
Okie dokie.
For the Flurfer.
Alright, let me just get that to him.
I'm reading the chat. Thumping Pinex. Team Skeptic is good. Just wish he sounded less like Reds. Yeah, Thumping Pine. It was so. For those of you that don't know, because I told this story before when I was, much smaller channel. I used to get people that would message me when I first started, and they were like, "Is this your second channel, Reds?" And my PlayStation name is Red Eye District, right? So here I am thinking all these people are confused or are finding me that are my friends on PlayStation. And I'm like, what the hell? Who are all these people asking me if I'm fucking Reds? And I was like, oh, Reds rhetoric. No, I'm not Reds, man. Thanks, though. I appreciate it.
You wish you were Reds.
David Griffin says that I got booted in 2 weeks from that group. It was a few days after I told Nathan he needed evidence for a claim. Yeah, I got booted from there because I was arguing with the guy. He's become semi-popular in the flat Earth cult movement. His name's Flat Earth Shaman. He booted me because we were in there and he was talking about gyroscopes, and I happened to work on gyroscopic modules in the military. And I was explaining to him that there's more than just a mechanical gyro inside of the planes, and that there's an actual correction mechanism.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, I was unaware of what pendulous vanes were and all this. I just knew that there was in some gyroscopes there's a mechanical correction, and some there's a digital correction. But it doesn't matter. It's all having to correct because the actual gyroscope, is becoming out of alignment due to flying over the curvature of the Earth. And I was trying to explain that to him, and they were like, "No, gyroscopes hold their rigidity in space. This is your argument you're talking about." I was like, "No, I'm not talking about the gyroscope. I'm talking about a gyroscopic module, which includes a gyroscope in it." And then I go to respond, and nope, no allowed to respond. I've been blocked from the group, and I was like, you know what?
We should do an experiment.
They can't stop me on YouTube, right?
Account. Yeah. We should start a new Facebook account. Just go on and see how long it takes for us to get booted. But it does seem that we have the first hashtag unbitchmade. Hip Hop Hippie, welcome.
Oh, hey, yeah, go ahead, Hip Hop Hippie. I'm sorry.
Are you there?
He disconnected. He's coming back in.
Oh. Well, let me go ahead and I think Kyle's in the chat. He says, welcome Jose Gonzalez. Jose Gonzalez, JG, a new addition to the Globe Earth community. One of our, I guess we could say that he finally stepped away from that cult belief system that the flat earthers have. Yep. Man, we're so glad you were able to break away without having any mental problems or psychotic breakdowns or anything like that. Welcome back to reality. We are so glad you made it, and we look forward to more Globe Earth videos coming from you, sir, using Jaren's P900.
Yeah, that's if anyone doesn't know, the reason why Jose became a Globe Earther was because Jarenism gave him a P900, and then he did a bunch of observations that proved the globe. So yeah, Hip Hop Hippie, are you there?
I don't know why he keeps disconnecting and coming back in. It's not really making a whole lot of sense at this point. Says he's here. Hip Hop Hippie.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Hey, Hip Hop Hippie, welcome. How you doing?
What's up?
What's up? So, I figured
you
you...
got all this crap and want to come in because you guys are a joke.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, you've had a conversation with me, so how about you have a conversation with Team Skeptic?
Yeah, that's cool. Whatever.
All right, what's going on, Hip Hop Hippie?
What's
I'll
up,
just sit
man?
back here and moderate.
I will give you the option of going first or allowing me to go first. I guess because we're coming into this unprepared, this is not going to have a lot of evidential backing, but you know, if you can just kind of support any claim that you make, and I'll do the best to give any kind of support for any claim that I make. If you have any questions for me, by all means, stop me and ask me the question, and I'll clarify anything I need to clarify.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Can you demonstrate a rock sphere with water around its surface spinning with pressure gradients in a zero-G vacuum? Can you demonstrate
Sure.
that?
Look at the, yeah, we demonstrate it every day on the Earth.
I'm talking about an actual demonstration, an experiment.
I know what you're
Practical
talking about,
demonstration.
Hip Hop Hippie. I know what you're talking about, but let me ask you just a question. This is an intellectual, honest question.
Wait. Is that a
before I
no?
move forward.
Is that a no?
No. Hey, hold
Is that
on.
a no?
I didn't say no. No, that's not a no. Let me ask you a question about your honesty, your intellectual honesty, real quick. Okay. Now, do you understand that in our model, there's an Earth? In our model, not what you believe, but in our heliocentric model, there's an Earth, very, 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 very large Earth, whose mass is like 6 times 10 to the 27th kilograms or something like. It's extremely huge, right? So in our model, that has a gravitational field and a gravitational force pulling down on things with as massive of a body as possible. Do you honestly think that your question can even be demonstrated if it could?
Well, it's not my fault. That's your fault. That's what you believe. So why can't you demonstrate it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have no intellectual honesty or you have no intellectual integrity. That's the only two options you have at this point with not
What does that
answering the
have to do
question
with
that I
anything?
asked.
What does that have to
Because
do with anything?
what holds the water? Okay, not a problem. What in our model? What holds the water to the spherical rock? What holds it?
Your fake fucking force, gravity.
Okay, so okay, gravity, right? So what's the gravitational pull of the Earth, and what defines the strength of the gravitational pull of the Earth according to our model?
Well, I don't fucking know because your fucking model.
Okay,
whack,
no,
dude.
then okay, so you're ignorant to the scientific consensus.
I'm not
but you wanna
ignorant.
argue
I'm not
against the
ignorant to the globe model, dude.
Absolutely, you are.
You can't
Hip-hop
even
hippie,
demonstrate your
listen.
own model. So,
I asked
so why are you talking
no,
shit?
listen to me.
You can't even
No,
demonstrate your
because
own model, dude.
you're being ignorant.
Hey,
You're being
I'm not
willfully
being
Hey,
ignorant.
guys,
You're
guys,
the one.
ignorant.
You're the
That's
one
why.
who's just. You're the one who's brainwashed, dude. Not only are you
both of you-
brainwashed, you
both-
are like one of the most brainwashed, dude.
Right,
Oh,
guys,
You were
let's
definitely
try and
fucking
stick.
brainwashed, dude.
Guys,
Yeah.
both of you, right, let's stick to one
Okay.
person talking at a time, okay? This can be a
Let me
dumpster
get
fire,
back-
but we can still try and keep it so everyone can talk the one at a time, all right?
Let me get back to my point. Let me get back to my point real quick. Hip hop hippie, okay? It's time to put away your intellectual dishonesty for just a moment. I'm not asking you to agree that gravity exists. I'm not asking you to say that the Earth is a sphere. I'm not asking you to do anything at this point except for validate what you believe to be my model, the model that you want me to demonstrate. This is where we need to start first, because if I can't demonstrate it, I need to have a reason why. Is that correct? I mean, I asked you to take a picture of the flat Earth. Can you take a picture of the entire flat
No,
Earth?
you don't need a reason
Okay,
why.
why
The
not?
reason why is
No.
the
Hold
reason
on.
why is
Why
your,
can't
is
you
your,
take a
is your
picture of
model is not scientifically sound, dude. You can't even demonstrate it.
Wrong.
So
You're wrong.
So I don't
You're
even know
wrong.
what you
we
believe,
demonstrate
dude.
it all the time. We demonstrate it all the time. We test its predictions, and the predictions match our reality. Now, if you can't accept reality, that's your problem, not ours. Now, I asked you a question, and I asked you to display just a little bit of intellectual honesty. I'm sure when you want me to refute your flat Earth model, you're not going to want me to refute it by saying you
I
think
want
the
you to
Earth
prove your
rises at.
model.
Shut up and listen to me for a second.
You
You're
shut
not
up.
going to say that
You
the Earth
shut up,
rises
bitch.
at 9.8 meters per second squared. You're not going to, if I say that that's the case, you're going to go, no, that's not my model. I don't believe that. That's not me. Well, stop putting a false belief on what I believe. Stop saying that I believe something that I can't prove, and shut up and listen to me for a second. Now, I asked you a question.
I think you're just sad that you can't demonstrate
still haven't
your belief.
fucking answered it. You still
why
haven't
you gotta
answered
get
my
all
question.
fundamentalist on me, dude? You can't even.
What is, shut up and listen. Okay, like
One at
Fight
a
the
time.
Flat Earth said, adults are talking, children should shut up and listen. All right, now what is the
Why are you
force
talking?
that
Why are you
causes
talking?
water
Why don't you
to
just shut up and listen?
What is
Because the
the
adult
force?
is going to talk.
Because, hey, talking over me is not going to prove you
stop.
right. We've
Yeah.
already proved that with Nathan Thompson. Why don't you just try to answer my question and show that you're not a dumbass? Right now, you're showing that you're a fucking stupid idiot. So answer my question. What is
Stop
the
projecting,
reason
bro.
that water sticks to the ball on our model? What is that reason? Answer that with some intellectual honesty. We'll move forward from there. Go.
It's your fake force, gravity.
Okay.
Fake.
And what's that
gravity.
determined by? Call it whatever you want, but you've already said it's gravity. Okay, it's
If
gravity.
it's fake,
So
if
what
it's
do you
fake,
think it's
why are we
caused
even
by?
talking about it?
What do
We're
you
talking
think it's
about
caused
real
by?
world,
What do you
dude. We're
think
talking
it's
about scientific
dude,
demonstration.
dude. If you're going to prove me wrong, then prove me wrong, but show that you actually understand the model. Right now, you don't understand the model because you're asking me to demonstrate gravitational pull on a sphere
You're
of rock
talking about
the size of your
imaginary
hand or your head or your car when you got one underneath you that's the size of the fucking earth, you fucking idiot.
Show me
Fucking
water.
Christ, you're stupid, aren't you? Can you not answer that question with intellectual honesty, yes or no? Are you going to answer the question? Answer the question.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Let's take it back a step. Right. Right. So just answer the question, and then you can ask Team a question, and he'll answer that. Okay. Like, let's just try and keep it as orderly as possible. Right. So, Team, can you just say your question again for you?
I already answered this question.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
So
you just
if
shooting
is
me.
the water sticking to the ball a consequence of the force pulling down on it from
there is no
from the
water
earth?
Ball, dude. There is no water.
So you refuse to address my model. You refuse to address my model. That's your problem. You can't just say, no, there's no this, there's no this. Then that means that you don't fucking know. Just say you don't fucking know.
Why don't you
just say that instead of just saying, dude,
why can't you prove
the model is proven, bro. You're the one that denies reality, not me. The model has been proven. We're here to appease your stupidity right now. We're here to try to convince you that you're dumb as fuck and you need to stop believing in that childish flat earth bullshit. Come over here to the globe earth, start acting like a man.
Right. Okay.
Now, can you address my question or not?
Right, let me break this down. Let me break this down one sec. Right. Okay. What Team is asking for you is to just for 1 minute put aside what you believe and just try and understand what we understand about our model and how things are supposed to work based on our model. Team is just trying to establish that if you have the knowledge of how things are supposed to work based on what we understand. So based on the model that we have, the answer is gravity. Yes. So based on the model that we have, what you're proposing wouldn't be something that could ever be done because the prevailing force that is acting on everything is the force of gravity coming from the mass of the earth. Nothing else happening within that is going to have a greater gravitational attraction than the mass of the earth because that is the biggest mass around. Everything is within that gravitational well. So, right. Does that make it clear? We're not asking you to believe it. We're just asking you to understand what the model that we subscribe to actually represents.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I was sleeping, man. You're talking about fairyland bullshit, dude. You're not talking about real shit.
All right, well, hey, how about this? Why don't we put your beliefs up for scrutiny? Let me prove you wrong. Why don't you talk about what the Earth really is? Let's start with the shape, and then let's go to why things fall. So shape. What proof do you have of shape of the Earth? Because I have plenty of proof that things go over horizon. Why is it there, jackass?
I don't know what shape it is, dude. I haven't been up to space to fucking see it because space doesn't exist. Why don't you go and prove space exists? Why don't you go build a rocket?
Space doesn't exist. Prove that it doesn't exist. You're the one that made the assertion that space
doesn't exist. You're the one who believes that shit, dude.
You just made that.
Why don't you go verify what NASA claims? Why don't you go verify
can't
what
prove
NASA
it. You
claims
wanna shift
instead of
the
just
goal-
being a fucking?
Right. You want to shift the
Dude.
goalposts and put the blame on somebody else and not
No.
support your own assertion. You don't have a model. That's the bottom line.
You're
That's what we
asserting
keep pointing
that
out
your
to you
model
guys.
is
You
true.
can't believe
Why don't you
something.
go to
You can't-
space and prove space is
what
real?
kind of
Why don't you
prediction can
prove
I
it to
make based
yourself?
on your model?
Why don't you prove it to yourself?
What-
Why don't you prove it to yourself?
I don't have to.
Oh, I know
Did you
why,
not see
'cause
the
you're
rocket launch
scared.
today?
You're
Hey, prove to
scared,
me right
homie.
there.
Go
Sorry,
build a
bud.
rocket. Go
Sorry,
build a
bud.
rocket,
You can be
science boy.
disingenuous.
Go build a
You can be
rocket and shoot
disingenuous.
yourself in the
Okay,
foot.
all right, guys, both of you, all right, just shouting over each other now.
He doesn't want to make an assertion based on his belief system. He just wants to attack a
I
different
know.
model. Make a positive claim on your own model, and I'll be more than happy to show you how stupid you are.
Yeah, so
You
let's just
have
break
no
it down to
positive claim to
basics.
your model.
Right, let's just break
None.
it down
Oh,
to
yes, I
basics.
do.
Zero.
Right,
Yes, I do.
No,
Right.
you don't.
hip hop hippie, listen up one sec, okay? Just break it down to very basics here, and you provide the reason that you think that the Earth is flat. So just tell team that. Why do you think the Earth is flat? And let's
There's
see
no
what
fucking
team.
curvature, dude. There's no curvature.
Do you have evidence that there is no curvature? Because I'm pretty sure the team has evidence that there is.
Yes, we discussed this last week. Felix Baumgartner, 120,000 feet, flat fucking horizon, dude. It's not my fault you guys don't understand.
Flat fucking horizon. They had
right.
all you fucking
Okay.
idiots claim that there's a goddamn fisheye lens up there, and then you're claiming now that it's a flat horizon.
You're
Intellectual
the
dishonesty
idiots
at
who
its
think you
best.
can
You
see
guys are
curve at
fucking
sea level and then
controversial.
you can't see
You
it
guys
when you
have
fucking
cognitive
rise on the
dissonance. You
sky.
don't
It's
understand what
fucking
cognitive
pathetic.
dissonance
Right.
is. You,
Okay, right.
you
Yeah,
sit
you
there and
have it.
argue
You
the
are
fact that
you are the
listen,
epitome
you guys
of fucking
sit there-
cognitive
Okay,
dissonance.
shut up
Hip-hop
for a
hippie, hip-hop
second.
hippie.
Yes,
Let me
you
address
are.
your
Yes,
little
you
fucking
are.
point. Let me address
Team,
your
hip hop
point,
hippie,
little
both of you
fucking
stop.
Kyle.
One sec. Right. Let team address the claim that the hip hop the Felix Baumgartner jump proves that there is no curvature. All right. Can you give him just a few minutes to address that claim without over talking? Is that all right? Right. Can you do that? Can you just listen for a few minutes and let him get his point out as to why he thinks that doesn't prove there's no curve?
If you live on a fucking ball and you see the curve at sea level, you're gonna see it
Yeah.
when you rise in the
Hip-hop
air.
hippie,
Have you ever been on a fucking airplane?
Hip-hop hippie, are you able to just give team 3 minutes, a few
Why-
minutes to just
How
respond
about
to that?
this?
Yeah.
Why do they call it an airplane? It's fucking simple. Are you guys that fucking dense, dude? Like, it's fucking so easy to understand. You guys are just fucking
Can you be
trolls.
quiet? Can you be quiet for 3 minutes and let team respond to your Felix Baumgartner point? All right, just 3 minutes. That's what I'm asking for you.
So,
all right, have just 3 minutes. All right, yeah. No.
So the
don't
Felix
interrupt.
Baumgartner flight is a one of those things that even globe earthers get wrong. They say, "Oh, look, you can look out and you can see the curve. Okay, you can see a little bit of the curve there." And they go, "Well, look at the back. There's a fisheye lens behind them. That's what you're seeing. It's the curvature from the fisheye lens." And then you have another one that comes on and goes, "Oh, look, you go up that high. It looks flat. Well, guess what? There's a curvature. There's the fisheye lens on that. So what do you have to say about that?" You don't have anything to say about it because it's a fisheye lens and everything you look at is being corrected either by an optical device or a computer program that's trying to account for the optical device. All right, so using the Felix Baumgartner.
Have you even seen the Felix Baumgartner footage, man? Why are you even talking about this if you don't even know what you're talking about, dude? Why are you even discussing it if you don't even know what you're talking about?
What did I get wrong about it? How about that? Why don't you say, instead of saying I got this and you don't know what you're talking about,
the camera inside the gondola, the camera inside the gondola, dude, it has no fisheye, and the horizon is at the eye level of the camera. It's fucking so simple to understand, dude.
Hold on. Are you looking at the Earth's horizon, or are you looking at the atmospheric horizon? Because you know that there's a thin layer of atmosphere that goes around our Earth, right? So dude, when you look up from that height, and you see the black meet the blue, guess what you're looking at? You're not looking at the ground. You do realize that, right? There is no fucking Earth coming up to eye level, dipshit.
It's the horizon and it's curved, and it's not curved. So what do you want?
You aren't looking at the ground. You're looking at the atmosphere meeting space. What's your explanation for that? Where's the horizon? Why is not the 100,000+ feet? Where did all that fall off from? Why is that not coming up to the top?
What are you talking about, dude? The horizon is seen out the fucking window.
So
Oh,
you're
really?
telling?
Right.
I got
You're
something
not-
to point. I got something to.
Yeah,
to
why don't you play the footage, dude? Why
Oh,
don't you play
this
it when you
is. I just took
Go
a
to
snapshot.
Taboo Conspiracy.
I just played. No, let me talk. I'm the producer for a second. I haven't said word one all this whole time. But this
Yeah, I
bullshit.
apologize, man.
This nonsense about it not being curved. That looks like a fucking curve to me.
Yeah.
And I'm
Dude,
sorry, but that is
I'm
not
talking
a.
about the gondola window. Look
I'm
through the
not.
gondola door.
That's your source, buddy. That's your citation. Felix Baumgartner jump. That's a curve.
Yes, dude. Go.
Are you showing?
look-
Are you showing
oh
it
my
on?
God.
Because yes, I wasn't
guys are
speaking of
fucking-
the. I was thinking.
guys are
I was speaking of
retarded,
the
dude.
photo that's taken from just on the outside of the capsule. So I didn't
Hey,
realize he
hip-hop
was talking
hippie.
about the one on the inside, but I don't even know that the one on the inside is a fisheye or non-fisheye lens.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the
So-
picture that I've seen from the
Yeah,
outside.
you're just
of the
talking
junk
without
that
without
shows-
One
without
sec.
even
Hip-hop
knowing.
hippie,
That
hip-hop
is the
hippie.
epitome of ignorance.
Did you
Guys,
That
one
is the
sec.
epitome of
clarify which
ignorance.
camera you were
Guys, one
talking
sec,
about
stop.
after or
Right.
before I made my
Right.
comment? Yes or no? Before or
Right.
after? It was after, right? I came back and said, yes, I'm talking about a different photo that was taken from outside.
Yes.
So
Now,
Okay.
hip hop hippie, you were just calling us all retards there. Yeah, I just want to clarify one
Yeah,
thing.
you call us retards all the time, dude.
Yeah, but
What's the
you're
difference?
calling us retard. Yeah, you said why is an airplane called an airplane, and I did have to just quickly look up the reason why. But the reason that an airplane is called an airplane is because the aircraft have static planes extending either side of the aircraft. You know, aeroplane, the wings. It's nothing to do with what you were saying. So please don't call us retards when you get the most basic of things wrong. Once you get
No,
something
you
right,
get
then
the
you
most
can maybe
basic
call
things
us
wrong.
retards.
It's
I
so
just
simple,
proved you wrong
dude. You
about
guys
something.
just fucking
I just proved you
convolute
wrong about
everything.
something.
You convolute level, you convolute flat, you convolute horizon, you convolute curve, you convolute everything, dude. That's all you
y'all
guys
do
do.
that.
Convolute.
Y'all are the ones.
No,
y'all are
you
the
do
ones
that.
try to say,
I don't
Okay.
think that word means
Right.
what you think it means.
yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Or, sorry, you conflate the two, but
No.
it doesn't matter, dude. You guys just get it wrong every fucking time, dude.
Okay, hey, can
Every
somebody
time.
pull up that picture? Because I want to show him how it's not the ground coming up to eye level. It's actually either the top of the clouds or the top of the atmosphere.
Yeah, go
Because
go
you
to-
will
go to
agree with me,
Taboo
right? That the clouds are
Conspiracies.
not on the ground, right? You will agree
Go
that
to-
the
go
top of
to
the atmosphere
Taboo
is not on the
Conspiracy.
surface of the
Dude,
earth.
the
And you
horizon would not rise
also
with you.
agree that
The
the clouds are
horizon
not
would
on
not
the surface
rise.
of the earth, right? Okay, will you?
The horizon would not
will you
rise.
have that up?
Fucking
Hip hop
simple.
hippie, you're particularly feisty tonight. Can you just try and not constantly talk over it every time team says something? So please, it will make this. I know that you're passionate and you want to get this out, but if you want to have a decent conversation, just afford team the courtesy of him finishing his thought before you start talking. Okay, I'm sure if you afford him that courtesy, he will do the same to you. So team,
what's your
you're
next
asking
point?
for someone to hold up.
Yeah. No, oh yeah. If they want to pull that up, I'll show him. He can point out where he thinks eye level is, and we'll see if the ground
Yeah, pull
is
pull
at
up,
that point.
pull up the Taboo Conspiracy analysis, and then you'll see the horizon is in the same exact spot from the ground level all the way up to 120,000 feet.
Okay.
Fucking
So
pathetic,
what are
man.
you considering the horizon? The top of the clouds or the ground, the physical ground? Because if we pull this up and I don't see
How long have you
physical
been
ground
doing this,
there,
dude?
I'm calling
How long have you
bullshit
been
on
doing
you.
this?
So go ahead.
How long have you been doing this, and you don't even know what the fucking horizon is, dude?
No,
How
we're gonna
long have you
pull-
been
We're
doing
gonna
this?
pull that up. What do you? Oh my God, the horizon. Yes, I know what the horizon is. It's the point on the Earth where everything that goes beyond it, you can't see it anymore. It becomes an obstruction. That is the horizon. Okay. If you can explain to me, please, why boats go over something and you don't see the bottom of them anymore, can you explain to me what happens to the sun when it
This has
sets?
been proved
Please.
so many times, man. You guys just
Okay,
like to
explain to me
cherry
why that.
what you
Okay,
put in
what
your
is the
brains,
point?
man.
Okay, well then let's start with something tangible. How do you explain the sunset?
Atmospheric
Hello,
conditions,
Cricket?
perspective.
Explain the sunset.
Atmospheric
Explain how the sun
conditions,
sets.
perspective.
Okay,
Angular
atmospheric conditions.
angular
Great. I'm so
resolution.
glad you said that. Because
Dude,
you know
it's-
what? Now we have tangibility on your stupidity. Okay, because now I can prove something wrong about to you. Give me 1 second. I'm about to pull up a picture.
You can't even prove
Yes, I am.
your own
Shut up.
model,
Shut up and
dude.
give me a
You
second. I'm
still
about
have
to
not
pull- I'm about to-
demonstrated what I asked. You still have not demonstrated
Right,
what I
because
asked.
you don't
dude.
realize how
So
stupid
it's not
what
my
you
fault.
ask is.
It's not my fault. You have to compensate.
Okay, can you
dude.
demonstrate
It's not my
Superman
fault,
can
bro.
fly? Can you demonstrate Superman can fly, please? Can you demonstrate that there's a human that can fly?
Superman is a fictional character.
Can you?
That's a
Oh,
great fucking analogy, bro.
He's
That
real.
is a
I've
great
seen him.
analogy.
He's on TV. No. He's on TV. He's real. He's as real as the flat Earth. So now demonstrate for me how
Dude, we
humans can
see
fly.
a globe on movies
Why, you
all the
fucking
time.
ignorant bitch?
All the fucking time.
Fucking dumbass. You guys,
You're a
you guys,
fucking
you hold
bitch.
a hell
Shut
of
up.
double standards. You hold a bunch of double standards in your belief system. You'll believe things you can't
Whatever,
prove,
man.
and say you go, oh,
Right.
you're wrong because I don't want to believe the Earth, but I have no proof of my model, but I'm just going to believe it anyway because reasons.
No, you're just a
that's
NASA fucking
cognitive
fanboy. That's all you
the
do is
actual
fucking.
definition of cognitive dissonance.
Right,
You
right,
realize
I'm
guys,
surprised.
let's-
I'm surprised you don't
Right,
have
come
like a
on, let's
Buzz
stop,
Aldrin
stop.
shrine up on your fucking channel,
Hip hop
dude.
Hippie, right.
How do you know I
Let's-
don't? How
let's
do you know
move
I
on,
don't have
guys.
fucking?
Let's move
I
on to
bet
some of
you
the more
do.
substantial.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
No,
I bet you have
Greg, I'm
fucking
pulling
Buzz
something up
Aldrin
right now.
underwear,
I'm
dude.
pulling up to, yeah, you're right.
I bet
do.
you have fucking NASA
badass.
underwear, dude. I bet you even have a shuttle
Hippie.
dildo, bro.
Hip hop Hippie, stop 1 sec. Right,
Yeah,
let's move on to
I
some
do.
more substantial. Team
Well,
said
hey,
that he
hold on,
would
hold
have
on,
a
I'm
conversation
pulling
with you
up-
about sorry, go on.
Hey, hold on. I'm pulling up a graphic right now that I would like to be displayed so I can show him how it's not fucking atmospheric lensing and refraction
Okay.
because they all
After
fucking
that,
make this
let's-
dumbass
You guys
claim
say
without
it's
even
refraction.
realizing how
You
stupid
guys,
they are.
no, you guys just hijack refraction, and then you
Wow.
say if we see too
Wow.
far, it's refraction. That's all you guys do.
Okay,
And
okay.
right, after
Dave,
this, let's move on to why
Dave, I'm
things
sending
fall.
you it.
Okay.
Okay, Dave, I'm sending you a picture. I'd just like you to display this picture, please.
When are you
You
going to
do know-
demonstrate what I asked?
Hip hop Hippie,
Right when I
Dave,
put
okay,
this
shut
on
up for a
here.
second. Dave, shut up for a
one sec,
second.
you
Dave, tell me when the picture is showing because I have my picture pulled up. I'm not looking at the actual screen. So as soon as it's up, let me, so I can explain this to him.
you do know there's like a whole bunch of other like space agencies around the world other than NASA, right? Some of them with very much enemies of the USA. Yeah, they all seem to show the same thing. That's always confused me. Is NASA controlling the Chinese space agency as well?
They all work together, dude. It's fucking that
Yeah,
simple.
right. So China and the USA are work right. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Not that
That's a new one. And
All
right.
their
right.
videos
Mhm.
contradict each other.
All right.
All their videos
Okay.
contradict each other.
Hey,
It's not my fault.
hey. All right, your picture's up, team.
Okay, so you look at it. Can you see this picture, Hip Hop Hippie? Okay, now this
Is
is a
that
picture
all you
showing.
got? Is that all you got?
Shut up!
Is
Shut up!
a
Shut up! You asked
is a
for demonstrations.
projection?
I'm demonstrating.
Is that all you
Shut
got?
up.
Is CGI? That's
Shut
all you have,
up.
bro. That's all you
Okay,
have.
that-
CGI. I'm about to ask
Hip-hop
you a
Hippie,
question.
This
Can you
isn't
shut up.
CGI. This isn't
That's
CGI.
your
This is a picture.
That's
This is a-
that's
That's not my.
your.
That's not my map, dude. You guys.
Okay.
You guys like to.
Oh, now
strawman
you know-
and stereotype.
Now you know how. Now you know how team feels when you strawman his position.
That's right. Now let me
Right.
explain
Just-
something to you, jackass. Okay,
Just
let's
let
say
him
you
explain
let's
it,
say it's
okay?
atmospheric refraction that causes the sun to appear to be on the horizon. Okay, so let's say you're at observation point A and the sun looks like it's on the horizon, and this is the equinox. Therefore, the terminator line is a straight line that runs across the earth, verifiable, observable, repeatable. Okay, the only person that should see a sunset is someone who is on that black line, as it's equidistant from the atmosphere, from the sun, and the atmosphere around it is generally across the earth the same. Okay, so for your explanation to even have any validity whatsoever, you would have to explain why an observer at the bottom of the map, okay, which would also see the sun setting
I
in
don't
the
have
same
to
fucking
explain
spot as
anything
everyone
to
else
you,
on the map.
bro.
Of course you
have
don't,
to
because you
explain
don't.
anything to
Oh
you.
my God! You see what you're. This is you. This is your representation of the flat Earth.
You're the
You
one. You're
represent
the one
flat
who
Earth, and you're
needs.
doing it as
You're the
best
one
as
who
you
needs
can right
all
now.
this
And then
crazy
you know why?
evidence,
You know why I'm
man. When
saying
all
you're
you
doing
have
as
to
best
do
you
is
can?
look at water, dude. All you have to do is look at water. All you have
He's
to
a
do is
pro.
get on a
He's a
plane.
pro.
It's that simple,
You know
bro.
what?
It's that
Are you a
freaking
po or are
simple.
you really that stupid? No. Let me ask you a question.
No,
Are you
you're
a
a
po,
po,
or are you
dude.
that
You're the one
stupid?
making money off of this
You're
shit.
that stupid. You're that stupid. Okay, you're that
No,
stupid. Because
he-
look, I'm showing
he
you
is
something
genuine.
right now that demonstrates what you are saying. You are saying people at A and B see at points A and B see the sun
I'm
setting
not saying
because of
anything,
atmospheric.
dude. I'm not
Yes,
saying
you are,
anything.
you
I came
fucking
on here
ignorant
for you to
piece of
demonstrate
shit.
your
You just
ball,
said-
dude.
You just said that the reason that the sun appears to set is because of atmospheric refraction and lensing. Did you not just say that?
and perspective and angular resolution. Dude, there's multiple things it could be other than a curve. There's multiple things it could be, man.
No, hip hop hippie. Let me tell you something. Throw every fucking reason you want for the reason. Make up anything. Just make up a whole bunch of shit for the reason why person at distance A should
Why not?
see the
You're
sun.
the one who makes up a curve.
Tell you that every single fucking person along that circle is supposed to see the sunset for the same exact reasons that you said. But you don't understand.
You're talking about projection, dude. I'm talking about reality, homie. Yeah, you are. You just showed the freaking azimuthal projection.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. You just said a reality. I just pointed out something that is actual reality. Okay? The Terminator line. You can't explain how someone in the southern part
Have you seen the Terminator line? Have you seen the Terminator line? Are you an astronaut? Are you an astronaut? Are you an astronaut? No, you're not an astronaut. There you go.
Why do I need what are you talking about? Did I ever make that claim?
Hip Hop Hippie, come on, let's try and act like an adult. You're usually better than this. Like, have you been drinking or something? Because you're very aggressive tonight.
I'm pretty heated.
Yeah,
I'm pretty heated.
You're pretty heated because you're fucking losing and you're wrong and you can't prove that you're right.
Losing, dude. You can't even demonstrate your own belief, bro. Wake up, man. Wake up from your brainwashing, bro.
I demonstrate humans that can fly. Well, okay, humans can't fly. Well, then there are no humans then. You've just demonstrated that humans are non-existent because there's nobody outside of Superman that you can demonstrate that flies.
What the hell are you talking about, man? What are you fucking smoking, bro?
Listen to the logic, idiot, okay? You want me to demonstrate gravity inside of a greater gravitational field, right? I can't do that. But does that mean gravity doesn't exist? No. Can you demonstrate that humans can't fly? Can you demonstrate that Superman is a made-up
prove it doesn't exist because you can't prove it. You can't prove it. You cannot prove it.
Okay, well then all humans don't exist because you can't demonstrate that there's a reason that he's fake. That there's a reason that they can use a computer to make him fly. You can't demonstrate that for me, so therefore all humans are fake, right? That's your fucking logic.
Superman's not fake, but his mustache was.
Your logic is you just believe whatever you're told, man, and that's fine.
Dude, I'm demonstrating something for you and you're just blindly denying it. You don't have a reason for what I'm saying. If a person at point A can see that due to atmospheric refraction, lensing, perspective, and XYZ reasons that all you flat earthers come up with daily new, why is the only other person that sees it on that circle that's equidistant from the sun is one observer, and that would be observer B. Everybody else would not be able to make an accurate prediction based on your model and your explanation.
Oh my god, dude, you're
Cricket.
So fucking brainwashed, bro. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, Hippie, how about instead of just saying you're brainwashed, how about you try and refute what he's just said with actual logic?
Go to the beach. I showed you last week. Phuket word.
Dude, you're not addressing what I said. Stop trying to go to a different fucking point. Explain my observation now or move the fuck on and admit that you can't do it.
You haven't even proved my demonstration. You haven't even proved it. You can't even prove water sticks to a fucking ball.
Well, then
in
prove
a
that
vacuum,
Superman
bro.
can't really fly. Prove it. Superman can't really fly.
Prove it.
No.
You prove your shit, bro. Prove
your
lame ass model, dude. You can't. You can't do it. You can't do it. It sucks. It hurts. I know it hurts. I know it hurts.
Hey, yeah, I can drop a fucking pin and it'll drop to the ground. Explain that. You can't.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's move on to something more substantial. So let's move on to why things accelerate. Why do you think things, when there's nothing supporting them, accelerate towards the ground at 9.8 meters per second squared?
What are we talking about acceleration, dude? We're supposed to be talking about curvature. There is no curvature. So what does that mean? That means your model
so we're gonna talk about that.
You just say that. You can't demonstrate that, but you can say it all you
Dude,
want.
you think you can see curve at sea level? You think you can see curve at sea level, but you can't on a plane.
Demonstrate no curvature. Demonstrate no curvature. Demonstrate it. Don't just say it. Demonstrate it. Don't hold a separate standard for me. Hold those same standards for yourself. Crickets.
Did he just rage quit? Did he just rage quit?
I think he
left because he is full of fucking crickets. He has no substantial claim. He won't
Rage
address
quit.
my claim. Put that bitch made
hip-hop
back
could
up.
be- Yeah. So that was a pretty poor showing from the Flat Earth side there. I think I can sum up his entire argument. Nah, 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 nah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, that was
Bitch.
pretty much it. Wow. That's the
They don't have
third
anything.
interaction.
They have zero. They have
Oh.
zero. They have absolutely nothing. This guy just showed it. He would not
Yeah,
hear.
absolutely.
He would not hear the explanation. First off, asking someone to demonstrate that inside of the Earth's gravitational field either means you're intellectually dishonest or you're completely ignorant to the model, the heliocentric model. That's the only two options you can at that point stand behind. And you have that choice. Hey, hip hop hippie, if you want to say, look, I'm ignorant to the fact that what gravity is, please explain it to me. I'll be more than happy to explain why your desire to show this experiment is fallacious. Okay? You can't demonstrate a weaker gravitational force within a much stronger gravitational force. All right, we could sit here and do the math and show how small a small rock with the actual gravitational attraction is on a small rock on water, for instance. We can actually demonstrate that, and we can compare the forces that the rock is pulling the water to its center versus the forces that the Earth is pulling it to its center, and it's off by magnitudes of like 10 to the 20. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy amounts of force that are so much more. This is why the Cavendish experiment has to have a force amplifier in the tension and the torsion of the string. This is what that's there for. It's to amplify that small, tiny force so we can actually measure it.
So what do we do now? Any other flat earthers want to come on?
Yeah, we still got about half an hour.
Yeah.
Before we even have to look at super chats.
I highly doubt they'll want to come on after I just pushed his shit in.
There was someone saying just now, let me on, Davis something, but I don't know if they're a flat earther or what. If there's Davis Gentry says he's been questioning but would like to learn more.
Look, as much as people think I'm here to berate and belittle flat earthers, I ridicule flat earth. I ridicule people who go and make positive claims that are completely wrong. Anybody wants to learn, even a flat earther wants to come in and just understand our argument better. I don't have a problem doing that. Because if I can help you understand where I'm coming from, then you'll go home and eventually realize that the earth is not flat. And that is ultimately what the whole process is all about, is just to have fun with it and give you guys some kind of educational material that you can take home and learn from. Whether it's, I'm not a physicist, I'm not a biochemist, I'm not going to lie and say I have all these different degrees and all these different qualifications, like being able to fire mortars from across the world and not having to take in the Coriolis effect, or being a sniper shooting 50 miles with his sniper rifle and this and that, whatever. I'm not going to bullshit you like that. I'm just going to tell you how it is. You can go home with my information, you can do some research on your own, and there's a pretty good chance you're going to walk away a globe earther.
Yeah, or a very angry flat earther.
Yeah, because I just shit on your belief.
Davis Gentry, if you want to come in, get hold of our producer David so he can give you a link.
How is he spelling this? Because I don't see it.
DAV something? DAVISGNTRY, Davis Gentry. So, any thoughts about becoming a flat earther after that conversation you just had, team?
I mean, I don't see how they could. I'm so lost on this as to how people can actually. If you're a flat earther because of your belief system, then you're lost, man. Come talk to me, because those are the flat earthers I can actually have a conversation with. Now, if you're a flat earther who's like hip hop hippie, who is just out to be either a troll or a Poe or using this as a business opportunity, okay, then there's no hope. They have alternative agendas for being flat earthers, because there's no way you can be a flat earther and have any kind of like understanding of science whatsoever. Basic science. Science that would not change whether the earth was flat or round. That's the thing. They want to discount the science, but guess what, guys? The science works whether the earth's flat or round. If it turns out the earth's flat, Newton's laws of motion don't go by. Well, I guess we'd have to come up with another reason. There would have to be another force that causes things to fall down, but I'm sure that the flat earthers would come up with something, because that would be the only time that you would ever see something act without a force. But at the same time, like once you just open your mind and be a critical thinker, okay, get some scientific information that's very basic and start there. Okay, understand Newton's laws of motion. Once you understand Newton's laws of motion, then it'll start questioning your belief system in the flat earth, because those right there debunk the flat earth by itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Newton's laws of motion are a good way to prove gravity exists.
Yeah, I mean, they don't work without gravity. The equations have to take into account the forces that are there. So, like, Hip Hop Hippie says he got disconnected, but I think that's a lie. I think we're done with it, but
he rage quit. It says call disconnected, and
yeah.
I closed the input because once you rage quit, you're done.
Yep. Well,
so
another flat earther can't stand up for his belief system.
Yeah, I mean, he came in and tried to give it large, but then ran away when challenged. Russian Vids is in the chat. You can come in and do your thing. Or are we getting hold of this Davis Gentry?
I'm waiting to hear from him. Oh wait, there he is.
And the bad thing is I would, with Hip Hop Hippie, I would have had that conversation with him about the gravitational force. That's not a conversation I'm afraid to have. But when he asks a question like that to begin with, you have to question whether he understands our model or not. If you don't understand the heliocentric model, you can't prove it wrong, because then you're just proving Narnia wrong, or you're proving Oz wrong. If you want to prove the heliocentric model wrong, take the heliocentric model and prove that wrong. Don't prove some version of it that you want that fits your narrative.
Flat Earth Jesus says that he'll come in. He's been complaining about being blocked, and he's like, unblock me. And I said, look, it's not my channel. I can't unblock anyone. And he says, that's a cop-out. Where's the link? So the fact that I literally have no power over the channel. I'll take on as many
flat earthers as possible tonight. All the flat earthers can come in and try to pick on me. I've called you guys all idiots enough. Come prove me wrong. I'm here.
Well, I think it's Davis is how you say it, but is going.
Oh, somebody's here right now. I'm sorry.
He should be coming in.
And Russian Vids is saying he's going to come in as well. They're all coming out the woodwork now, team.
Well, I don't have.
That's fine.
Any way to get?
I guess Hip Hop Hippie gave them a little bit of an adrenaline boost, an internal adrenaline boost. They're like, oh, now I got some confidence. I'll go up there.
I don't have a link to give to. Here, let me get who has a way to get this to Russian Vids, because Russian Vids.
I can give Russian Vids a link.
If Davis doesn't come in, then yeah, we'll go with Russian Vids, because that's always fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Russian Vids. I'm gonna tell you something. We had a really great conversation with Russian Vids. Like we
wait, I think someone's there.
It was so funny. Oh, is someone there?
Davis, is that you?
Yeah.
Hello. You have questions about the not bad. Thank you for coming on, buddy. So you have questions. You're not sure about things. Is there anything that team or I can clarify for you?
Oh yeah. So I'm actually. It's gonna sound like, how can he be questioning things? I'm actually a physics major.
Okay, that's interesting.
Good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And I'm actually a senior physics major. I graduate in May. A couple weeks. So I mean, I've been an amateur astronomer my entire life, and I've seen observations with my telescope that that just comports with the heliocentric model. But there are some, like I'm not like I don't know super big into like the curve calculator and everything like that. So I don't really know. When people show me these observations, like Nathan Thompson or God, what's his name? Or
Anti. He's our favorite.
or D Marble. I do always find like a Google search and stuff but there's just some observations that I'm like like the laser test, for example. Like the laser test when they're shooting it to I don't know how many feet off the water and it's going over and it's according to the curve calculator shouldn't be able to see it. It's just like stuff like that, and I'm just like, I haven't gone out and done any experimentations myself, but that's just like let's just start with the laser test. I mean, I'm sure you've seen Nathan or the other ones do it, but is it like the way they can see it? Is it like refraction or diffraction or refraction? Yeah.
There's a couple of things. Yeah, go ahead. Mike.
One thing I always ask the flat earthers that say they're doing the laser experiments is that I want the specs of the laser, because the laser will have a point where because the laser light emits in a cone essentially. So the further away it is, the larger the point, the aperture of light will appear, which means that if you're pointing that at a curve, then because the laser light's emitting as a cone, you're still going to be able to see the light going over the curve, because it's never going to be pointing directly straight forward because of the way that laser light emits out of the actual emitter. Team, do you want to?
Yeah, and then I'll cover the selective refraction that they'll use. Okay, so a good example of this is FE Core. They went out and did a laser test, and they did this over an amount of kilometers or miles that you shouldn't actually see the laser from where it's at. Now, what they don't tell you and what they don't tell most people is that they selectively pick and choose the nights that they do this, and they don't typically take measurements, control measurements to verify what the refractive index is that night. So they pick places that are first, number one, over water and ice. Now they'll tell you they do it for those two reasons, because there's the least amount of obstructions. You can actually get pretty close to the water to conduct these tests without worrying about like a minor little 6-inch bump in the ground getting in the way of the laser. So they'll go do it over there, but then they're also smart enough to know that humid air is less dense than regular air. Okay, so then they take that into account and they say, well, let's do it on the coldest night possible. Why? Because when the coldest night possible, it's also usually the least humid, as well as cold gas compresses more. So now you have two factors that are both included that increase the amount of refraction. Number one, the air is cold, therefore it's more dense. And according to Snell's law, it's not necessarily a density thing, but when gases are molecularly identical, which they are in the air, you can actually use density to, like increase in density will increase the refractive index, but they have to be molecularly identical to be able to use this law. Okay, so in that situation, they're getting the colder, denser air. So that's becoming more dense, or has a higher refractive index. Then they're adding the fact that it's dry air because it's so cold. Dry air is actually more dense than humid air. Most people don't know that concept either. So now you're getting two different factors that are adding together to create a higher refractive index, which will give you a more of a length that you can see on the laser. And they do this everywhere. Every major laser test they have is always done over ice for that reason. I'm sorry, were you about to say something?
I think he's cut out. Davis, if you're still there and you can hear us, try refreshing your browser.
And I'll continue to address that while we wait for him. But these are scientific facts, guys. The one thing that you'll hear most people get wrong is they'll say that the humidity in the air causes the additional refraction. That is incorrect. Humidity in the air causes more obstruction, not refraction. The drier air is actually has a higher refractive index than humid air. And the way you can tell this is clouds float, right? So that's humid air, water vapor. It's floating because it's less dense than the regular air at the surface. So that's typically why you will see the laser being done over ice. That's also typically why you'll see it being done at the coldest times of the year. It all is conducive towards extending the visible length of the laser at the surface of the Earth.
David, see you back with us?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
know what
okay. It happens sometimes, the internet. So do you have any points, anything to ask about what Team was saying there, about the way the laser works?
Yeah, so I think you talked about it was you Fight the Flat Earth talked about the dispersion of the laser. You said it was like in a cone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Divergence.
divergence, yeah. And in Team, I missed the bit. I think I clocked out right when you were talking about the warm air, which one's more refractive. So I didn't quite get that.
Well, cold air is going to be typically more dry than hot air. Hot air is going to have more humidity in it. Humidity is actually going to put more water vapor in the air, and that makes air less refractive, not more refractive. Most flat earthers will make that mistake and say that the additional water droplets in the air is what's bending the laser or what's keeping us from seeing things, when it's exactly the opposite. It's the colder air, it's the cold, dry air that actually causes more of a refractive index than the warm, humid air.
Okay.
That was basically my point. It's a combination of not having water vapor in the colder areas of the air and the colder gases being higher density.
Okay. That makes sense. Oh yeah, and one another thing I wanted to talk about was the whole density versus or buoyancy, density versus gravity argument. So one thing that I can't seem to I can't seem how flat earthers can comprehend it. So we know that, for instance, if I drop a ball versus a feather, regular air, the bowling ball is going to obviously hit first, due to the fact that, yes, it's more dense, but also the feather has things like air resistance, right? That's that's keeping it, and it's less dense, but it's keeping it. So keeping it, afloat for longer. So when we put things in a vacuum chamber, right?
Yeah.
And I know that no vacuum chamber is perfect. I can't remember what the one at NASA is. I think it's 10 to the 7th torr, 10 to the 6th torr, something like that. But when you put those things in a vacuum or a medium of air that's a lot less dense, they will fall at the same rate. And my my argument for that is that if it was just density, right? I think Nathan talked about something about wanting to seek equilibrium. So that's why a bowling ball, because I know that Fight the Flat Earth, he had a argument, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to put words in your mouth. But you said, if it's just density and buoyancy, if you have a bowling ball, the air above the bowling ball is less dense than the air below the bowling ball. And that would, you would expect something to fall. Well, I think Nathan came back and said, well, objects want to seek their equilibrium. That's why a helium balloon floats until it gets up to a column of air, or a column of the atmosphere that's just as dense as it, and it'll float. And then a bowling ball wants to fall to more dense. But in a vacuum chamber, right, I don't understand the density thing, because because the bowling ball is still, because there's still some air in there, albeit very little. Shouldn't the bowling ball want to fall at a quicker rate? Because let's say that, or
Well,
let's say you
okay,
have an
I'll
object.
answer that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay, so when you're dealing with the mathematical equations involving f of g equals big G m1 m2 divided by r2, you can eliminate the common mass. So what you end up doing is you can eliminate the or not the common mass, I'm sorry, but the smaller mass, because the common mass, they're both falling towards the common mass. The force is equal in both directions. The feather is being pulled by the earth, but the earth is being pulled by the feather as well. The force itself is equal, but when you take out the smaller mass, you get left with being able to calculate the acceleration just given the larger mass that's there. I believe it's m2. So that's what the gravitational acceleration is derived from, is the gravitational field that is a construct of the amount of mass that the Earth has. So everything will fall at that rate according to the mass of the Earth, not according to the relativistic masses between the two, or not relativistic mass is a bad word to use. The comparable masses between the other two objects, like the bowling ball and the feather. They mean nothing because they have they're not being pulled with the same amount of force. Okay, look at it like this. It's being pulled with the same amount of force, but they each have the same desire to pull against that force and stay in its inertial frame of reference. Okay, so that basically inertia. So let's say you increase the force to pull things down, will you also increase their desire to want to stay where they're at? So those kind of cancel each other out, and you're left with the 9.8 meters per second, which is based on the mass of the Earth.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about. Or that's what I was trying to get across was, if you have a vacuum, right, and you drop a feather in a bowl, observe them falling at the same rate. But if density was the only thing at play, then the bowling ball should want to fall.
Oh yeah,
faster
yes, I see what you're saying now.
than the
Yeah.
feather. Yeah. So
Right.
that's
They should.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry,
to
go ahead.
me that's never been properly explained by the flat Earth community, to where things, when you put them in a vacuum or a very low density medium, they're going to fall at the same rate, and then you can take the time that it falls and apply the equations of motion. I think it's v final equals v initial plus acceleration times time.
Acceleration. Yeah,
Kinematics.
acceleration times.
Kinematics.
Kinematics.
Yeah, so you'll always get a 9.8 meters per second. So we actually did this right in my my seminar lab. We actually did it with a pendulum, where we had a pendulum tied, and we used a cylinder pendulum because it was easier to calculate the center of mass. You just calculate the length of the pendulum and divide it by 2. Now you have to assert uniform density throughout, but we're not going to sit there and try to find the density of the object, or not the density of the object. It'd be the density of the object. So we just assume uniform density, and we ran it through what's called I don't know if you've heard of a photo gate. It's essentially it's a timing mechanism that you can plug up to a particular program, and it will calculate. So it has a photosensor in it, and when the pendulum swings in it, it turns on, or the photosensor is blocked, and then every time it swings twice, it calculates that time into a period, and then we had to derive the equation for motion of a pendulum, and we ended up getting after we averaged everything out, a value of 9.791 meters per second squared, and everyone did, every single person, and they used different materials, Some of them used a bowling ball, or not bowling ball, but a cue ball. One person actually used an app on their phone to calculate the time. They even used a photo gate. And we all got around a 9.79 meters per second squared. And that's due to the fact, right, that we are, where I live, it's like 3,000 feet elevation. And so, the
Slightly
further
less.
up, the further up you are in elevation, the weaker the gravitational acceleration is going to be. Now, it's not by much at all, but that,
Well,
that's
I'll say this right here:
just
if
can't.
if anybody's questioning gravity, okay, and the existence of an accelerating force that is present on Earth, I have a simple test that you can do. Go get a camera, set your camera up, get a bottled water and a straw, okay? Start blowing bubbles into the straw. Make sure your bubbles are coming to the top before you jump, okay? Once you know your bubbles are coming to the top, then jump off and film yourself jumping and watch what the bubbles do while you jump off, all right? As you're free falling towards the Earth, the bubbles will not rise. The bubbles will fall as well. And this is an absolute proof of the accelerating force of gravity. And anybody can do it. Anybody can film themselves doing it and go back and watch it. You can do it with any density of liquid you want to do, because as you were saying, gravity doesn't care. The only thing that changes, the gravitational force of the Earth doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the relationship between two masses. So once you have a different mass, you get a greater force. So the accelerating force is always present. That's what helps you. The acceleration is what helps you derive the force value that you get from falling or being pulled or whatever. So when you do this experiment and you jump off of the seat, you go into free fall, and when you're in free fall, everything, including the bubbles, is falling at the same rate. And you can videotape yourself doing this, and you can send it to me, and I'll put it in a video. Anybody, not just you, Davis, but anybody can send me a copy of them doing this experiment. They do it right, I'll put it in a video, and we'll have a whole long video of people showing that gravity is actually present everywhere.
That's a really good experiment. And so this notion, right, that I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I wanted to one last thing before I have to go, but I wanted to talk about some of the observations that I've made in my scope that cannot or don't have an explanation, of course, on a flat. Is of course shadows on the moon from, if you get like a half moon or a quarter moon. Not a quarter, it's the same thing, but like a crescent moon, and you get these shadows in the craters more so next to the terminator line, but you can get some further away from the terminator line from like mountains and stuff, and they always correspond. What was that?
I was just saying that is good evidence in itself for the fact that the moon is not a self-illuminating light source, because obviously you wouldn't have those kind of craters if it was illuminating its own light.
What kind of self-illuminating light source? That's ridiculous. But another one is I know I don't know if you ever seen. You've probably seen them from Hubble, but the eclipses of the Jovian moons on Jupiter. I've actually seen them in my telescope. Now, unfortunately, I didn't film it at the time. I do plan on trying to film it. I have a 12-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain GPS telescope from Meade. That's just it's amazing. Some of the things that I've seen. If Jupiter is a wandering star, then how can you get shadows, cast on that as well? And so that's another
It's just
observation.
dead pixels. It's just dead pixels on the light source. That's it.
It blows my mind, because I saw Nathan Thompson's observation of Jupiter with his P1000, and it was, or of Jupiter's moons, and they were, first of all, he doesn't know how to focus his own camera.
Yeah.
They're just
There's a lot
always
he doesn't
out
know.
of focus. There's always out of focus stars or planets, and he claims that they look like lights underwater. As home, which is another fact. If there really is a dome with waters above, then you send any high altitude balloon or rocket up 100,000 feet or more, the sky turns pitch black even in daylight. So where's the reflectivity? I don't know if he thinks that the blueness of the atmosphere is caused by the waters above.
Oh yeah, they've said that before. Waters above, and I'm like, well, what happened? What about any space flight that you guys say? Oh, look, it looks so flat from 200,000 miles feet up, and you're like, where's all that black coming from? That's the waters above, but they're not blue. Come on, man. This is like special pleading 101. They say that because they're parroting that, and then when you bring up a point like you say, well, hey, why do you make this assertion when you have this observation that completely annihilates that assertion? And they look at you and they say, they rage quit and call you a shill, say you're just making shit up, you're indoctrinated, you're just regurgitating, you can't prove your model. And then what do? They shit on the chessboard and then they run off screaming they won, like hip hop hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we should probably look at doing the super chats about now, shouldn't we, Dave?
Yeah, I just want to make one more point before I get off addressing JM Truth's saying that astronomy is not a real science.
Yeah.
I think he actually used in his video astrology, which I wholeheartedly agree is not a science, but I'm pretty sure he meant astronomy, but that's beyond the point. One prediction, right? I think he said it's not a science because it can't make predictions, and it can't have experimentation.
You can't manipulate it. You can't manipulate it. He's saying that you can't manipulate the stars. Therefore, astronomy is not a real science.
Well, an independent variable doesn't need to be manipulated per se. But that's
tell
the point.
Warrior that.
One observation that I think is the discovery of Neptune, which was done back in was it in the early 1900s or was it the late 1800s? But anyway, the astronomer discovered irregularities in Uranus's orbit and calculated using Kepler's laws. The hypothesis, right? The hypothesis was that that he proposed was there was another gravitational body beyond Uranus that was tugging on its orbit. And sure enough, once they applied Kepler's laws of motion and Newton's laws of gravitation, they said, okay, if this is true, there should be a planet roughly this mass, and they even narrowed it down. That's even how they're doing with Planet 9, narrowed it down to a piece of the sky. It should be in this piece of the sky. And it should be right around here. Go look for it. And sure enough, when they looked, there was Neptune. So
using purely Newtonian physics only, and we were able to discover a new planet. Or not really a new planet, but a new one to us, because we were completely unaware. We just saw anomalies. We made a prediction. We tested the prediction. The prediction worked. Might as well just chalk it up as a win for the globe Earth. Win for heliocentrism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna close it. We're gonna go ahead.
Yeah, I was just this is a couple in comments I just wanted to throw out there. I mean, I'm always.
Well, appreciate the fact you're asking questions, which is good. Never be afraid to ask questions. And,
yeah, I mean,
me and team can both seem quite abrasive and nasty to flat earthers, but you know what? If you're going to come in and genuinely ask some questions and actually want to learn, then I think both of us are going to be more than happy to have a decent conversation with you. But if you come in here like hip hop hippie, kicking and screaming, refusing to actually have a conversation like an adult, then we're going to treat you exactly the same. So yeah, thank you for coming in and having the conversation.
Yeah, I will be in the chat, so I will talk to you guys later.
Thanks for joining.
Take it easy, Davis. All right. So do we have anybody else coming on, or are we going to wrap it up? Here, Fight the Flat Earth. Do we have anybody else coming on, or are we going to wrap it up?
I think it's about time to wrap up, isn't it, David?
Yeah, it's about time to wrap up, so I'm just going to read the super chats here as soon as I put something up in Davis's place here.
Russian Vids, you and I will get a chance to have a proper conversation. Don't worry.
I think we should do. We should try to do a "My Buddy's an Idiot" non-sequitur version. No, we'll save that for our non-sequitur show. We'll save that one for that.
Yeah. We'll show that out.
I was gonna suggest we should do a hip hop hit. We should do a hip hop hippie version.
So I think we deserve a visit from the dumpster fire. Because we did have a little bit of the dumpster fire tonight.
Very much so. That was quite a fun dumpster fire.
I thought he was gonna come in here and be cool, man. The dude came in here acting like a jackass from the start, man. Shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've had 2 conversations with him. The first one was actually really, really civil. The second, he was a bit of a douche, but this one, he just came in acting really big bollocks.
Which doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. You know, you want to be an ass, that's fine. I'm an ass all the time, so you're stepping into my element. You're playing on my baseball field, you know. So come on, let's get this game started, and let's see who wins that game of being an asshole to each other. And I guarantee you, unless you're a bigger asshole than me, I'm going to win that game. Now, I'd rather have that conversation with you so that you... Yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's no bigger assholes than you. You know I think that. All right, what you got for super chats then, Dave?
Well, let's see here. Space Comma says JM Truth for Dumbfuck of the Year 2019.
I think he's on the list.
Hey, I'm going to tell you now, unless there's somebody that comes out making an absolute, there has to be somebody that comes out and praises JM Truth for his educational abilities. That would be the only thing that trumps JM Truth from being my nomination for 2019 Dumbfuck of the Year. I've already told JM for the past week and a half now that he is getting my nomination, and I will be pushing for the community to vote him as the winner, just to make me happy.
He's gonna have to work hard to beat Riley.
I would nominate him myself, to be honest with you. Russian Vids comes in good though. Russian Vids.
Yeah.
Prince April Van Ryn says #free Nudbot. Night Demon says grab the marshmallows, the fire is lit. #child slurf. The Athens 619 says hip hop hippie is right the hand junior. Got it. Yeah, he was tonight.
Yeah, he was. God damn.
Yusan says weird, he said airplane meant the earth is flat. Airplane in French is avion and has nothing to do with the shape of the earth.
Yeah, that's a big thing. A lot of these people think that, they'll bring up the NASA. Oh my God, it's so close to this word in the Jewish language. Are you kidding me? This is first off, is it the word? Is it the word? Or is it just close? Oh, it's just close. Okay, so we're working with a limited number of sounds that the human can make. The human voice can, distinguishable sounds. This is like a linguistics thing. So you're limited in those number of sounds you can actually make with conversation. At some point, you're going to have some word in another language that means something totally different, sounds something close to the language you speak, and it's just a matter of probability at that point.
Okay, who's your atheist? Says sorry, Father Skeptic, but Superman is Kryptonian. Luke Filewalker.
Yeah, I was just trying to, give the generalization to say, look, I see a human on screen. There must be humans that can fly. Demonstrate that they're just faking that he's flying. Demonstrate that. or show me that there's humans that can fly. If you can't show me humans that can fly, then there must be no humans.
Ooh. Luke Filewalker says, without gravity, roller coasters and freefall towers wouldn't be a thing. True. Weather alone proves the Earth is round. Yes, it does. Thank you, Emmanuel Davis, for that. Space comma again says, NYR. Oh, Neener. Got it. HHH 2019. Whatever. What is that? I've seen that a couple times. Oh, Hip Hop Hippie 2019. Got it. Hip Hop Hippie is hashtag bitchmade. Night Demon said that. Steven Steen says FTFE loses every debate badly. Sure. You keep
If you say
thinking
so.
that. If you say so. Thanks for the money.
Just go watch the last video that I put on my channel of my conversation with Sleeping Warrior. Definitely didn't lose that one.
You know, hey, I want to say this. Steven Steen asked to come on earlier, and I didn't see it till maybe 10 minutes ago in my Discord. We need to set up a time for him to at least come on and have a conversation. Whether he's a flat earther or not, he donates to the community. That helps people continue to make content, and I believe that he should be able to get on here and at least express his opinion. Steven Steen, next time I'm online, or next time I'm live, if you want to come on, you just let me know, and I will make room for you to come on and express your opinions, and I won't treat you like an asshole. As long as you're not a hip-hop hippie, I won't treat you like an asshole.
Mark Beiser says, hip-hop hippie is just a parrot for other idiots' arguments. True. Space comma. Counter for Steven's super chat. Thank you very much. Now it just... Oh, stupid. YouTube just scrolled it all the way back to the top on me. Princess April Van Ryn says, Brava, we know the Earth is round. Official Jerboa says, can hip-hop hippie model a pressure gradient inside of a dome over a flat plane? If not, he was hypocritical from the outset. Xantar2482 says, get health Carmody YouTube channel and teach him how refraction works.
Yep.
He's getting cocky, apparently. And Mandela Effect sent a super chat with no message. Thank you for that super chat. Schrodinger's Cat says, come see my new video. Definitely. Go check out Schrodinger's Cat new video. And J Dragon Melee says, space comma in all caps.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, I would like to point out that, first off, let me explain something about flat earthers and refraction. They have no clue what refraction is. Almost nobody that claims they know what refraction is actually knows what refraction is. Refraction's not a slowing down of light going through a medium. Light never slows down, no matter what you think. You might see a light wave slow down. You might see the overall effects of the interactions between two waves make what you can see slow down. But light itself is moving at the speed of light, c, at all times. So when a flat earther comes in here and they want to talk about refraction, I highly doubt they even really know what's going on with refraction. They're just intellectually dishonest people.
With flat earthers in general, is that they don't have an idea of the thing that they're arguing against. So,
just got another super chat from Fart Rhino. I love that name. Fart Rhino. I love what you guys are doing, but please don't ever invite Right the Hand or Hip Hop Hippie back. They have proven that they are children and don't deserve a platform. Thanks.
I apologize. I introduced Hip Hop Hippie to the world, so I'm sorry about that.
No, we all need to see dumpster fire. We need to see dumpster fires like that, so other people can say, "Yeah, I don't want to be that guy."
Yeah. Chris Berry says that he will debate me next week on here, so that's a thing. He's one of the people that says that George Mercer is contradicting himself, and he's even watched the interview trailer that I've done, and he still seems to be saying that. I mean, you guys do realize that I wouldn't be releasing these trailers and stuff for the interview if I wasn't fucking right. You know?
Yeah. We're not flat earthers. We don't just shit on like Adobe Premiere and then put that out as a video. We don't take our
they don't
phones,
use
turn
it.
it sideways. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
gave them more credit.
They
We
use
don't
Windows
just take our
Movie
phones
Maker.
and hold it. Yeah, hold it upright and film ourselves in a garage, like Daniel Pratt or anything like that. You know, we actually take time to do our research and make sure that we're right. If I wasn't right, I wouldn't be putting videos out. If I was a flat earther,
No.
I would be a closet flat earther because I would sit back
Yeah.
and say I'm not right, but I still want to believe.
Yeah, because that's all they've got is the belief.
3 more chats, guys. They just came in
Okay.
all in a row. I'm going to try to say this right. Princess April Van Ryn, I think is how you say it. You said my name wrong twice. That's why I tried so hard to say
Maybe
it
3
correct.
times now.
Maybe 3 times. Steven Steen said, anytime. I'd own you, Team Skeptic. Sure. Mandela Effect says,
You're welcome.
by Flurf logic, aircraft must be less dense than air. And Space Kamakama says, and again, countering Steven. Thank you.
Right. So before we go, we'll tell you about what's happening on Thursday on this channel. Team and I are going to have episode 0.9 of Science or Satire on the Non-Sequitur show. Kyle said that's okay. I don't know if he's even told you about that, David, but he said that's a thing.
He doesn't tell me shit. I just work here.
Yeah. So yeah, Thursday we'll be having Kyle and Steve as guests on this channel, which is their channel, but they're going to be our guests. You know what I mean? And then the show after that will be the actual launch of Science or Satire. I just knocked over my lighting.
It just sounded like a bowling alley. That was the fun.
Yeah.
That was some funny shit.
Yeah, I did.
I just knocked over my lighting.
Yeah,
2
so
seconds.
with our Science or Satire channel, we're actually just taking a more. It's going to end up being something that's a little bit more fun. We're going to talk about flat Earth, but we're not going to focus on flat Earth. We're going to talk about science, bring on some of the debunkers that you guys love to watch, have like a real conversation with them, talk about their journeys into debunking flat Earth, talk about their journey through YouTube and whatnot, and what got them started and having fun, man. We had Simon Dan on the other day. We've had Godless Engineer on. We've had Red's Rhetoric on. We've had a lot of good guests so far. You should definitely check out our channel, Science or Satire. As you can see, I've put in the graphic behind me is our logo. So
yeah,
in fact,
so
let me take my
we're
avatar
gonna
off so they can see it.
once we start the shows properly, please ignore the fact I just knocked my set over there. I recovered nicely. Once we start the show properly, I think we're doing 2 shows a week, and it should be a nice mix of material. So we'll have some debates on there. We'll just have some general banter on there. There's always going to be stuff where you guys can get involved with like my buddy's an idiot section, and other audience engaging sections, but we really wanted a place where everyone can come and have a place to hang out and have a good laugh about science in general, but also have the dumpster fires you all like so much.
Boy, people love those dumpster fires, man. God, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, I love giving them to you guys. Look,
Yeah.
one thing a lot of people don't know about me is I am one of those people that I feed off of like confrontation, right? So like I'm never afraid of confrontation. Anytime somebody says, "Hey, let's do this," I want to come on and prove you wrong. The first thing I say is date and time, buddy, where and when, and I'll be there. And I've never backed down or backed out from anything like that. I want that confrontation. So I'm here to say, fuck it, let's do it. Let's confront them. Let's start that dumpster fire. Let's piss all over their belief system, their fallacious belief system of the earth being flat, because guess what, guys? It's not fucking flat. If you're a flat earther, then you are a fucking idiot.
And I think that's a good a note as any to leave it on. Thanks very much for joining us tonight, guys. I believe Red's Rhetoric is live right now, so why don't you all go over and check him out. Thanks for watching. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Good night, y'all.
Later.